The first map we're going to be starting with is Through Hell. It's one of the easiest maps in the game regarded by a lot of people. It's pretty short, doesn't have that many hard jumps, so I'm just going to show you a couple shortcuts, and it's going to be pretty quick. Now, I'm using the jumper kit because it allows us to access all of the shortcuts in each map, which I think is pretty important if you want to beat all of your competitors. Now, right off the bat, as you're jumping down here, a lot of people like to use their leap immediately in order to get ahead of the group. I don't recommend that. You're going to want to save your leap for later in order to recover from any kind of mishaps that you have on pretty much any of the maps. Now, go ahead and just jump up here, and I'm going to slow down the footage for a sec, and this is the first shortcut I want to show off. So you can jump up and over this wall. There's a little crevice on the right. If you go too far to the left, you're going to hit the wall and fall. As you can see, there's a little spike there. Now, here, jump, jump. Now, you're going to want to keep that momentum up so you don't fall in the lava. Now for this part, you're going to want to try that, like the little spiral thing once. If you mess it up, as you can see my leap recharge as soon as I finished it, if you mess it up, then you're going to have your leap recharge just in a split second, and you can go up and over that wall and be fine. Now throughout this entirety of this tunnel, you're going to want to keep a wide girth around the lava so that you don't get set on fire and start losing some health. It's not that bad, but I'll explain to you why it could be bad here. Now, for this part, do not use the leap in order to get across that gap. If you run into the wall with a leap, it'll kill you for cheating. Now here, as you jump down, you see that one white block, you're going to want to land there, because if you don't land there, and then the Douglas wipes out the thing with his wing, as you're going to see right now as those blocks fly past me, and I turn back, the white block's what stays, everything else gets destroyed, so you're going to want to keep that white block underneath your feet if Douglas is near you. Now, go ahead and leap up here, keep a speed up, jump. That's a really hard jump, you're just going to have to do it. Not much else I can recommend. Now jump down to this water. Right now we still have our leap left, and you're going to want to save your leap because this is probably the most useful leap that you can do in the map. And then at the very end, you're going to go up here to the left, leap up and onto this platform, and go right on into the portal. And there you go, that's Through Hell pretty much explained. And yeah, that's on to the next map. Now the next map we're doing is Frost Run, and it's the second easiest map as a lot of people regard it as. It's also really short, just like Through Hell, and it has a lot of really easy jumps, so that's why I'm going off with it next. We're going to slowly increase in difficulty as we go through. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and look back. There's Douglas, give him a little kiss, and let's begin. So, try to keep the ice underneath your feet in order to keep yourself at a quick pace. And then right off the bat, jump on top of the slabs. It'll keep your pace up and will make it so that you don't trip and fall. And it will force you to leap jump throughout that part in order to keep your momentum up. Now here's the first time you can leap. You leap up and in there. There's a little gap there. So I suggest if you aren't familiar with it, go right or left so you don't fall in that hole into the middle. But if you know it and you have the pacing down, go ahead and just leap up and jump over it like I did. Now through here, a lot of people like to immediately leap, as you'll hear someone behind me do, onto this island. That's not what you want to do. You want to run to the end of it and then just leap up and onto that little snow poff there. That way you're going to have skipped that entire island, and it'll save you a ton of time. Now here, you can try this once. It's not really that hard of a jump, but if you mess it up, then obviously your leap recharge, just like it did in Through Hell with the spiral. You can leap up to here, and then you keep on going. You still have one leap left, and that's what's important. I'll show you where you need to use that in a second. Jump down here to this ice. Now stop here, and then you're going to want to keep the momentum up because that's pretty much the last hard jump. You can't really crouch on this fence here, so you're just going to have to be accurate. And then once you're up here, jump on top of the fence, and then look forward, leap, use that last leap, and there you go. Also really quick, just like Through Hell, and yeah, that's it. Okay, now it's one of the harder maps, Pirate Bay. It's a little bit longer, and it has some more difficult jumps, so I'm going to tell you a couple of shortcuts that you can take and a couple of tips on getting through the map quickly and safely. So right off the bat, in the starting area, you're either going to start on the left or the right, and you're going to want to look forward and you want to get over this fence right in front of you. If you fail to get over the fence in the beginning, you're going to have to waste one of your leaps, because if you can't get over the fence, you're screwed. If you make it over, you can either go over like you see me going here, or you can go under, as you saw there were some stairs coming back up. You can go over or under that little ceiling. Now for this part, go through. You might want to stop as soon as you take that ticket damage so you don't get you don't get it in the midair and fall. Now here, I mess up and I fall down before I leap, so you're going to leap over to this Stonehenge. If you mess up and fall down, even if like I did, you're going to have plenty of health and you're going to be close enough that it's going to be fine, but you're going to want to get to the edge of that thing before you leap. Now here, a lot of people like to leap up and over this that we're climbing around right now, but I'm saving the leap for a later point, which I'll point out later. Now here, even if you mess up like I did, there's a ladder right behind you to go back up. So a lot of people think that they're screwed if they fall. That's not the case. You can go back up and see I'm completely fine even though I messed up and I just was quick enough to get up the ladder and keep on going. Now here, as you saw those other people do, you go right and onto the side of the ship. This crosses off a huge section of the map, one of the hardest sections of the map, and it helps you get to the head of the pack very quickly and very easily. Make sure not to hit the fences above you while you're doing that. Now here, a lot of people like to go to the left when you get onto the wreckage. I like going to the right. It is safer for me. Now, on the sand, go to the left. This is where you saved that leap from earlier. Instead of going over the stone, you can skip that entire sandy island by going to the left. Now here, it's just a straightforward running. Make sure to just pay attention. Don't rest easy yet. You're still going to have to pay attention. Right now, you're going to want to have at least one leap left. You can have wasted a couple leaps so far, especially if you didn't do that first leap that I showed you in order to recover from falls, but you want at least one leap back. Otherwise, you're going to have a very difficult jump to do here. Now, once you get to the very end, go ahead and leap up, and you're in. You're good. As I'm doing here, that's a really difficult jump to make, so you're going to want to leave your leap intact in order to make that jump very easily. Alright, and that's Pirate Bay. Now to map number 4, Through the Jungle. Unlike all the other maps, this one isn't a sprint to the end. You're not really even competing against the other players or Douglas. You're just trying to complete the map in a slightly timely fashion because Douglas is still an issue, but you want to do the jumps safely and you want to do them correctly. Now, case in point, in the very beginning, these jumps don't seem that difficult, but over 5 people die before we even reach like 10 seconds into the map. So you're going to want to keep that in mind. Now, the very first time I want you to leap is right on here on this little hay bale thing. You're going to jump off the end, leap onto the spire, and just continue on. This will allow you to skip a lot of the parkour and give you more time later on in the map in order to focus on the harder jumps that you might be tripped up by. Now, for this cavern, I would suggest sprinting through it. It's the only part where I think that you should rush because you want the momentum to do some of those jumps because they're 3-block and up 1 jumps and pretty difficult. Now, for those spires, you can go any way you want. You can go on top of the spires, you can go about on the sides of the spires like I did, pretty much up to personal preference. Now, here, on this trap door that I'm jumping on top of, someone can toggle that, so you don't want a troll to be standing there, so you're going to want to keep that in mind, just a note for yourself. Now for this part, this guy and myself get in kind of this match where we're trying to get in front of each other. I let him go in front of me because at this point in the game, you don't really need to be in the front and you definitely don't want someone inside you. Also, if you lag like I just did, you're going to want to stop and just stay at a standstill. If you're standing at a standstill, then you can't fall into the lava and you don't really need to be rushing right now. At case in point, the guy who was rushing just died. Now I like to use a leap there because that's one of the harder jumps and it means death if you mess it up. Here, you can try it, but even if you mess it up, obviously you just fall in the leaves and you're completely fine. And you can use another leap in order to get up. Now, you have 1 leap left and that's what's important. As long as you have 1 leap left for you to use in the map, you're going to be fine. Now for this part, not really that many suggestions I can give. Just be safe, know how to jump, know yourself, just know how to do parkour. Obviously you have some time, as I just showed. I messed up a couple times and Douglas is nowhere near me yet. Now here, a lot of people get confused by this part. What you want to do is you want to jump on this fence and then jump out laterally and use your final leap to land on the comet. And once you've done that, you've beat the map. And there's Douglas, and I still got a good 5-6 seconds before he hit me, so I was all good. Okay, now onto the last map, Skylands. Now this one is a fan favorite. It's one of the hardest maps, it's one of the most fun maps, it's one of the longest maps, and it's one of the OG2 maps. So, I'm going to show you where you're going to want to use your leaps. Now on most maps you can use only 2 leaps through it, and there's only 2 locations where using a leap is necessary. Here, all 4 of your leaps are going to be necessary in order to beat the map in first place. Now, at the very beginning, you're going to want to stop here if you get this lag spike. I know that a couple of my friends have it, and I have it, and if you have that lag spike and you try to jump over that thing, it'll happen in midair, and unlike most lag spikes in Dragonscape, this one will actually affect your parkour and make you stop in midair and make you fall to the void. So just be cautious of that and know if you have it to wait for it to pass before you try making that jump. Now here's the first time you leap. You go to the right and you leap on top of the sandstone ceiling, and then you can bypass this entire first part of the sand area, and then you get to this pyramid. A lot of people like to jump over that lava pool we just passed. I think it's just a little bit too risky and it doesn't have that much of a reward for a waste of a leap. So I just go ahead and go through the middle because it doesn't really, it's not that hard. So this is the second part you want to use your leap. Go ahead and leap up and over this wall. That allows you to bypass the entire second half of the lava location. Now, go down here to this ice. If you've been able to save your third leap, you can use it here if you mess up like I did, but you don't want to. This is not one of the areas you want to waste your leap. Now here, if you still have your third leap and you haven't messed up so far and needed to use it, this is where it can pay off. You can skip this whole entire snow island and save 6 or 7 seconds to get this next jump, which I'm about to show you to. this jump right here. If you mess up that jump, you're going to need those extra seconds in order to try it again. That's pretty much one of the last really hard jumps where if you mess it up, you're going to have a second attempt at it. Now here, at this part, you're going to want to jump on the lower log and then on top of the higher log in order to keep momentum to do that jump. That's actually a pretty tricky jump, even though it doesn't look like it. As you saw, the guy behind me just died because of it. So you want to keep the speed up in order to do it. Now here, just go ahead and go through, sprint through the whole part, and then you have that last leap left as long as you save it, and you beat the map. And it's as simple as that. So, yeah. So that's all 5 maps explained. If there's anything that I missed, any details I wasn't able to cram in here, I tried to focus on more of the generic and the larger topics and whatever small details I could fit in. If there's anything that I missed, go ahead and leave them down in the comments and add them for me. We're pretty much trying to make this as easy as possible for everyone to complete the maps. And yeah, and go ahead and leave a like if you want more stuff like this. Leave some comments telling me so. Subscribe if you want to get more videos like this and some more videos in other sections. And overall, go play Dragon Escape. It's one of the best games I can play on Minecraft, and it's one of the most original games I've ever seen. And I think that's all that's left to be said is I hope you have or had a great day. Bye.